Now, South Africa and the world are caught in the grip of the coronavirus pandemic, but there may be some positive effects. Rival gangs in the Western Cape have apparently set their differences aside and declared a ceasefire. Leaders are focusing on taking food and other essentials to struggling households during the national lockdown. For more on this, I'm joined by Don Pinnock from the University of Cape Town's Centre of Criminality. A very good morning to you, Don. Talk to us about what we are seeing in some parts of the Cape Flat, some sort of truce.
Hi. It's criminology, not criminality, fortunately. Look, the story came out as a BBC story, and the facts of that story may be correct, but its message, I think, is wrong. And the message it put out, and it's a hopeful message, and I wish it was, is that gangs that normally wage war are now cooperating and providing food parcels. Well, gangs do cooperate. It's not unusual. They might have different names, but they very often cooperate because they're linked through the numbers, the 26s, 27s, 28s. So they might have different names, but they're all 27, so they will cooperate. Gangs never operate outside of their own self-interest. So on that clip that the BBC did, J.P. Smith was pretty hard in saying we're not going to give people who kill each other. Yes, but the truth is that gangs they have parents in those communities. They will distribute food parcels, but they're not going to cooperate with rival gangs. I very much doubt, and I asked somebody in the community in Manenberg yesterday about that, and he was skeptical. He said, look, gangs cooperate all the time. That's normal. Rival gangs are not going to cooperate. Merchant gangs in the Western Cape are really about territory. They're merchant gangs. They protect their territory. They protect selling areas. They protect products. And it would be very unlikely for one gang to come into the area of another gang to distribute food parcels.
So possibly that package was talking about what is already happening with those gangs who do work together. And I mean, it's not, I mean, this is the way the gangs operate anyway, don't they? They do look after people in need and help them, and that's often how they get the sort of support that keeps them functioning.
Gangs are young people mostly, and those are the young people with families in those communities. Very often they are the only support financially of those people. So there's a very strong relationship, obviously, between the gangs in an area and all the adults and people around. One can't forget that. And if there are food parcels to be distributed, you cannot do it apart from the gangs. They won't let you in unless you let them in. So I'm not surprised that they're distributing food parcels.
So this lockdown, what sort of impact could it have on the Cape Flats and Bonteheuwel and areas like that, which are really extremely hard hit, some of the worst violence in the world? I mean, could this help, could this exacerbate it or help diminish it in some way?
The lockdown is being terribly difficult in those communities. The housing situation doesn't really make it possible for 5 or 6 people to stay together in a very small flat or a very small shack. So, generally those communities are under terrible stress, and food parcels are important. I don't know what impact all of this is going to have on the violence in the gang situation. I don't see a strong relationship between this lockdown and gangs. On the other hand, gangs are the top of the food chain, and if there's something to be got out of this, they will get it out of this. So, I've been working with gangs for years, and my heart goes out to these young kids who join gangs, but they are pretty feral organizations, and they will take what they can get in whatever the situation they find themselves.
So a little change under the lockdown. Don Pinnock, good to talk to you.